As the title says, today we're going to talk about another Logitech new mechanical keyboard. This is the G815 RGB Mechanical Gaming Keyboard with GL Clicky switches. Now, last time we did G900, 915 and they were tactile and linear, and I said we're going to do the clicky ones. Well, I have prepared the G915 as well, GL Clicky. But today we're going to talk about G815 because it's a wired version of the G915, and I'm actually really curious, you know, just to test it out and to see everything, to get some diversity on these switches, because these are clicky and those were linear and tactile. The box compared to G915 is bigger, of course, because you have attached cable. Now we have some difference when it comes to G815 and G915, and the difference is it has a double USB. You have a braided cable, and this is the reason. G915, since it's wireless, it can't have a dedicated USB port on the keyboard. Since this is a wired version, of course you have one, and it's right here at the back. Now I'm really fascinated, as always, when it comes to sticking foil on products and taking it off. But the design is definitely immaculate. I have to say, it's very thin, as you can see, and you have two legs here to adjust the height of the keyboard, so you can adjust it as you wish. You can switch the second one, the highest leg, right before even touching the smaller one, so that's not a problem at all. So the highest one, let's see. The thing that I said earlier is that I said it on G915, you don't need the palm rest here to use the keyboard because it's so thin. Your hands are right on the table, and there's not too much distance from the table and the keyboard as you write. So basically, yeah, it's quite alright. I mean, when you have a keyboard that is like this one over here, the G410, it's a completely different story because it's not a slim keyboard and you have standard keycaps. Now this one is completely slim. Let's go into more details. As I said, 5 G buttons from G1 to G5. You have memory buttons on top, M1, M2, M3 and the MR. Also you have the gaming button to switch off any buttons that might come in the way of gaming, and you have the light button for your RGB to switch it on or off. On the right side, on the complete right side above the numerical pad, you have the multimedia buttons, so play, pause and stuff like that. And of course you have the new scroll that they place for volume. Basically this is it when it comes to visual aspects. At the back right here near the scroll wheel you have that USB port. Now I mentioned a couple of times in the past videos, why do they have two USBs? They dedicated one USB strictly for this USB port, so it doesn't interfere with standard communication when it comes to keyboard and your computer. This way, keyboard has a dedicated USB and the USB port on the keyboard has a dedicated USB. So it kind of, let's say, lag free. No problem with transferring data, no problem with, for instance, if you want to use a wireless mouse like G900 or something like that. And it kind of is really cool to have a dedicated USB because, I don't know, you could use a wireless mouse, you could do a transfer of your files or something like that, anything. Above the F9 and F12 buttons you have the caps lock and numlock light, so you could know if something is turned on. There is a scroll button here, scroll lock as well, but you don't have a standard button like a standard LED light like you usually do. So let's connect it to my computer and well, test the click sound. Now I do have to admit one thing, when it comes to RGB and keyboards that actually have them, not a standard single color backlight, I usually find it skeptical because, you know, I have two huge softboxes right here and they're shining crazy. I mean, it's really extreme light, otherwise if I turn them off it will be almost a complete dark here, even though I have one more light above me. And the thing is, sometimes I don't see the RGB lights on the keyboard, and that's kind of disappointing, right? I mean, even though, you know, when you play games during the night, that means if the RGB is really that strong with these softboxes at night, it will probably burst your eyes. Just kidding, of course. But let's take a look at this. Currently, this is the craziness of the RGB on the G815, and it does light up really nicely, even though the softboxes are really punching the light on the keyboard, and I can see it fairly nicely. Also, there's one more thing. When I take a picture with my Canon M50 on the RGB keyboards that have everything, you know, lighten up, usually I have to turn off the softboxes. I'm really curious how this will look, but in any case, all the Logitech keyboards that I used and tested and stuff like that, they never had problems with the lights. They really have nice vivid colors, and even the keycaps look magnificent from under it. So here it is. The keycap is fairly easy to remove. You don't need a keycap remover. The switches are normal as they have a really nice sound. It's not that crazy razor clicking, which I really hate. This one is really nice, and I really don't mind. Let me just... It has a really different sound, significantly different sound from the older Romer G switches, because I have that one right here, and these switches are really nice. I think there is no need for extra words when it comes to Logitech and their gaming keyboards. Definitely they did a magnificent work with the G815. This is a wired RGB mechanical gaming keyboard with low profile, definitely, and I gamed on it and tested it, and I had no problems with, what do you call it, finger stucking in between the keycaps. The transaction when you move your fingers while typing is very smooth, so there's no need to worry about if you're going to make a mistake while typing. It's just so easy, and the clicking sound, the clicky, the GL Clicky makes a really nice sound, not annoying sound definitely, but it gives, you know, the feel of a mechanical, it gives the sound of the mechanical keyboard. As for the feel, it gives you force feedback, it gives you slight force feedback, and you do feel that you're pressing a keycap, and definitely without a doubt it's not like you're just, how can I say it, just pushing it through without any force. You do need to use some, of course, but it's not that it's going to make you want to change a keyboard from this one. This is definitely, if you don't like wireless stuff, but definitely if you're into wired stuff, wired keyboards, this is the keyboard. And I know some of you might say, I don't like flat keyboards, I don't like flat keycaps. You have to go into a store which has it, and you need to test it. This is definitely something different, something out of this world, and I really love it. I just hope, and I'll repeat myself from the G915, I just hope they make a TKL version of this keyboard. That's it. Links are below. You can check the prices at the Logitech web store, at the Logitech website, and if I find the G815 somewhere else, I'll put the link, of course, for Europe, for US, for Croatia, wherever I find it, I'll definitely link it below. So guys, thank you for watching. Don't forget to click the like if you liked the video. If you didn't like the video, you know what to do. Unfortunately, and if you really like the video, of course subscribe, hit that bell, and see you next time, because I have here like 7 more products from Logitech and they're just waiting to be reviewed. See you next time guys, bye bye.